Happy Monday. We have a huge 15 game slate. Let's talk some basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back with another week of NBA basketball. That's right, we've had 3 straight winning days. They've been kind of smaller winning days, but still 3 straight profitable days. We'll take that, but we're due for a sweep. Hopefully, we can get that today. But we have 15 games because there is no games on Tuesday. But quick reminders: Monday Night Football Best Bets video and preview is out now, as well as Karan's NHL Best Bets video. So go check those two out. But I'm ready to get started. We got a lot to get into, and that means we're starting with a dad joke. So here we go. I saw 50 Cent knitting a sweater. I said, "Gee, you knit?" If you know, you know. Anyways, in this video, we're going to recap the weekend, and then we're going to go over some NBA team stats, defense versus positions and hot shooters and all that kind of stuff that will be coming this week. Don't worry. But today we're just going to give you some NBA team stats to go over, and then I'll give you my best bets and finish it with the recap. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. Helps this channel grow. I appreciate all the support day in and day out. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, as we are now on our way to 32,000 subscribers. All right, let's get into it, and it starts with the recap. All right, we had a 3-2 a day on Friday and a 3-2 day on Saturday. No bets on Sunday. It was all about the NFL. Jaden Ivey over 1.5 threes. It was just a debacle of a game. 7 minutes in the first half, a blowout, all the things. He comes in, hits 2 quick threes in the second half, luckily, and saves us. Brandon Ingram over 23.5 points. Nice winner there. He clutched up. Thunder minus 11.5. They let the Blazers come back to tie it, but then they just absolutely blew them out in the fourth quarter. So Thunder covered that. T-Wolves minus 4 again. We are now 0-2 on T-Wolves spread picks. They won by 3 points. It just wasn't pretty. The Nuggets looked better because the T-Wolves just aren't playing great defensively, in my opinion. And then Jakob Poeltl under 26.5 PRAs. I think he had 8 at halftime, and then came out like gangbusters in the third quarter. It was absolutely insane, and he went over this. So Saturday, B-Pods over 10.5 rebounds plus assists. He got that job done. James Harden under 22.5 points. I think he ended with like 13 or 14. That was a nice, easy under against the Thunder. Christian Braun over 10.5 points. He had 17 at one point. I don't know what he ended up with. He just crushed it. John Moran over 22.5. He was just playing pass the ball all the time in the first half. It took him a while to get going, and he just never got there. I think he ended with like 18. A lot of assists, just not the points in that game. And then Rudy Gobert only played like low 20s minutes for some reason. It was on a back-to-back. I don't think it was foul trouble, but he just didn't play well. He started out hot, had 6 or 8 points, and then never really scored again. So it is what it is. 3-2 Friday, 3-2 Saturday. Obviously, we love sweeps, but we'll take any profit we can. 3 straight winning days. The under tracker, that is just player props this season. Just something I wanted to do because we didn't play as many unders last year, and I'm kind of taking some. I'm trying to change it up a little bit because I've been putting a lot of research and work into some unders as well. So that's under tracker, 4 player props, 9-5 this season. There's the overall record. We are practically freaking even, and we're due for a hot streak. So that's the bets recap. And now let's talk some NBA team stats. All right, you guys know we did this a couple times last week with some different stats. You can go back and check it, but we plan on doing this kind of throughout the year. Obviously, we're going to be doing defense versus positions every day, but for right now, I want to put this together. On the left side is defense, right side is offense, just to kind of help you out with matchups for those that like to bet totals, spreads, things like that. But on the left side, on the top, of the opponent three-point percentage, the best 7 teams, that's right, I fit in some more teams, and the worst 7 teams, that's right. The Bulls are giving up the lowest three-point percentage to their opponent at 29.3%. And then you go all the way over to the Hawks at 41% they are giving up to their opponents. It's been ugly. And then all the teams in between, just to kind of help you out. Warriors, Thunder playing good defense, and things like that. And then if you go over for a matchup on the right side, here are the teams shooting the highest three-point percentage as a team, and then the lowest three-point percentage. Knicks, 41.7% shooting the 3-ball. Cavs, 40.6%. Warriors 41. That's without Steph Curry a couple games as well. So on and so on. And then you see the Jazz over there. They can't score for a reason. They can't shoot. They can't do anything. They're shooting 28%. 76ers, Spurs, Magic. Magic are a team that like to get to the hole, other than a few guys, but they're only shooting 32.3%. So there's all the 3-point numbers, defense and offense. And then if we go down to the bottom, opponent's second chance points. I just want to go over this. We've gone over fast break points. We've gone over points in the paint last week. Now I'm just going to talk second chance points, which is something that's a big part of basketball as well. But Magic are the best. That pretty much means they're not allowing a ton of offensive rebounds, obviously, or if they are, they're defending it well. But Only 9.6 points per game. As you can see at the bottom, second CP, it's second chance points. But Magic, Knicks, Celtics, Pistons, just doing a good job at limiting teams' second chance points. And then the worst teams at it will go down to the bottom. It's the Jazz. They are absolutely horrendous. The worst team in the NBA. Blazers, Heat, surprisingly, are giving up quite a few second chance points. Warriors, Pacers, Hawks, and Wizards. And then you go over to the right side for offenses. Well, the Rockets are getting 20.8 second chance points per game. They crash the offensive boards. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the NBA. And again, these are all stats that should be a part of your handicap when you're betting spreads, totals, things like that. Raptors 19.9, Blazers, Hornets, so on and so on. And then over there on the right side, the fewest second chance points allowed. That's right. We got the Suns 9.5. They are not doing much in the offensive rebounding. Spurs, Pacers, Cavs, Heat, Bucks, and Lakers. Those are the bottom 7 teams for second chance points. So again, just some more stats for you guys. Again, we put a couple of these out last week as well. Hopefully it helps you out. You can take a screenshot, but that's what we got for the team stats. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to LA where the Clippers host the San Antonio Spurs. Clippers -4. Total in this game 218. We're running this ish back. That's right. James Harden under 23.5 points, -110 on BetMGM as a half unit play for me. We cashed this earlier or in his last game under points pretty easily. And now I talked about in that one, the Thunder were a really bad matchup for Harden, and because they rarely give up points to the pick and roll ball handler. Harden scores a high percentage of his points from that. Obviously, he is the main man right now. Spurs allow the 7th lowest score frequency to the pick and roll ball handler, 37% score frequency, 6th lowest field goal percentage to that ball handler. They allow the 12th lowest 3-point percentage as a team. More on kind of on this matchup is that the Spurs have just played good defensively overall. If you don't know, they struggle on offense, but they play well on defense. 3rd best defensive rating in the NBA. I know it's shocking. They've given up the 4th fewest points per game to the point guard position. Let me just talk about some point guards that have played the Spurs already. Mike Conley, 5 points. Obviously not a huge score. Keontae George, 15 points on 14 shots. SGA took 20 shots and scored 18 points. Van Vliet, 11 and 18 in those 2 games. Luka, 28 points on 25 shots. Harden's not going to shoot 25 times. Harden averages 16.6 field goal attempts per game. Another reason I love this bet is the Spurs play at an absolute slug pace, 26 in pace. Clips are 21st. There are going to be less possessions in this game. Harden is already just overall this season under this line in 7 of 10 games, and now he has a tougher matchup than most people think. As always, injuries, blowout, foul trouble, all work in our favor. Give me James Harden under 23.5 points for a half unit as my first best bet. All right, this second one takes us out to Houston, Texas, where the Rockets host the New York Knickerbockers. Knicks -3. Total in this game is 219. I have a best bet. It is a 1-unit play. It is my favorite play on the board right now. I absolutely love this bet. I thought about a unit and a half. That's pretty risky for me, obviously. I'm more of a 1-unit, half-unit kind of guy. But let's talk about Jalen Brunson now, under 7.5 assists. So Brunson this season, thanks to Outlier, by the way. Click that link below in Outlier if you have not already. Get a 7-day free trial. It's the best player prop research tool out there. But he is under this already in 4 or 5 games. Just overall, he's under in 4 or 5, okay? He's had one weird game where he had a ton of potential assists. Cat got hot and hit every shot he passed it to him. But he's only averaging on the season 5.6 assists per game. He has to get to 8 to go over this. Yes, you're welcome. I did the math for you. He's only averaging, this is the crazy part, but let's talk potential assists here. He's only averaging 9.2 potential assists per game. That is not what you want if you're trying to have a guy get to 8 assists. You probably want him to average 15 or more, maybe 14 or more to have a chance to get 8, depending on the matchup. He has 9 or less potential assists in 4 of the 5 games. So practically, let's just say he gets 9, right? His average, what he's done almost every game. He has to get 8 of 9 to convert. That is a very, very lucky game if he gets that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that is tough to do. And now he's facing the Rockets defense. I expect Dylan Brooks to be all over him, but what I do love about the Rockets is they're not a team that just leaves shooters. We've talked about this with the Pacers defense before. The Rockets will stick to the shooters and just allow Dylan Brooks to work one-on-one with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson could score a decent amount, but assists are going to be tough. They don't overhelp at all, which I actually like in a defense. Sometimes there's just too much overhelping, easy 3-ball shooters, things like that. So they're just overall a team that limits assists. As a team, not against any position, they allow the 2nd fewest assists in the NBA. And then point guards versus Houston this year. Let's talk about it. B-Pod, 6 dimes in 37 minutes. Luka, 2 assists. Chris Paul, 3 assists, and then he went over with a 9 assist game in the second time. John Morant, how about 2 assists? LaMelo Ball was the only one that went over. He had 12 dimes. But LaMelo, which is crazy, but LaMelo is averaging 14 potential assists per game. Again, Brunson is averaging right at 9. I mean, they're not even comparable in how many passes they make, how many potential assists they have. This line will probably move. It might be 6.5. I still like it at 6.5. But I just don't see how this line even touched 7.5, to be honest, because it's a tougher matchup. And plus, he just doesn't have the potentials to get there. He doesn't make enough passes and things like that. So give me Jalen Brunson under 7.5 assists for 1 unit as my second best bet. All right, before we get to this final best bet, we got to tell you about this promo with Bet365. Bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets. This is an incredible deal. If you are in one of the legal states for Bet365, you have no reason to not go sign up right now. You bet $5. All you got to do is click the link below, sign up, deposit at least $10, and then just bet $5 on whatever it is you want. Win or lose, you get this money, and it is instant in bonus bets. So go check it out. Like I always say, the more sports books you have, the better. Gives you much more value, better odds. You can kind of shop around and all that kind of stuff. So go check it out with Bet365 using the link below. And of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to the bets. All right, this third one takes us out to the nation's capital where the Wizards host the Golden State Warriors. Warriors minus 10. Total in this game, 231.5. I have another player prop for you. Give me Bilal Coulibaly. Over 20.5 points plus rebounds, minus 120 on BetMGM. Half unit play. That's right, we have an over now. The 20-year-old has played well this season. If you don't know, he's averaging 25.6 points plus rebounds, way over this line, and we just need 21. He's over this in 3 of 5 games this season. The 3 overs, as you can see by this screenshot right here, 29, 30, and 36 points plus rebounds, just blowing it out of the water. And here's the big part of this. No Kyle Kuzma in this game. He's played 2 games without Kyle Kuzma this season, 36 and 30. That's right. It's just been unreal. In those 2 games, he is averaging 13 rebound chances per game. So assuming he gets about half those, 6.5, 7, that doesn't leave much needed in the points department. He's averaging 13 shot attempts per game in those 2 games without Kuzma. I know it's just going to be Jordan Poole, and I know it's against his ex-team, but still, Coulibaly is going to have a big part of this. The Warriors have all, he actually have seven offensive rebounds in the last 2 games without Kuzma. Warriors have allowed quite a bit of offensive rebounds, 14.3 per game, 29th in the league. With or without Kuzma, he's still averaging 34 minutes a game. He's a starter. It doesn't matter. They are letting him play. He's a 20-year-old that wants to play. They want him out there, even if it is a blowout. And I know blowout can be a worry here. I get that. They did lose by 20 to the Heat. He still played 34 minutes and had 30 PRs. They lost by 19 to the Cavs. He still had 29 PRs in 35 minutes. He is going to play still. And now they're playing the Warriors. Great defense overall. We've talked about that. But they struggle versus small forwards. 28th in points allowed to the small forward. 30th in rebounds allowed. This is an absolutely good matchup for him. I love getting a guy who is getting around 34 to 35 minutes. He's going to take like 12, 13 to 16 shots per game. He's getting 13 rebound chances without Kuzma. He's going to get a ton of opportunity. Not a ton of great rebounders on this team, especially with Kuzma off. This number is just too low for the volume, in my opinion. Give me Coulibaly over 20.5 points plus rebounds as my third best bet. I am going to add more on this huge 15-game slate. It will be in the morning, my time sometime, so afternoon for a lot of you. So be sure to check the pinned comments on X and on Discord. Discord is free. Click that link below and join. But those are the 3 bets I got for you so far. And before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. There it is. We start with 2 unders. James Harden under 23.5 points, minus 110 on BetMGM for a half unit. Jalen Brunson under 7.5 assists. Play of the day for me, minus 125 on Bet365. That is a 1-unit play. I still do like it at 6.5. Obviously a little less, but I still do really like it. And then Coulibaly over 20.5 points plus rebounds, minus 120 on BetMGM. That is also a half-unit play with more plays to come. Thank you guys for watching. Seriously, it's awesome to be able to talk sports with you guys every single day here in the comments, on Discord, and all that. So hope everyone has a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.